So when it comes to jewelry, a lot of Main Street policies, let's call them that, the policies that are available from just about every insurance agent you can think of, have a lot of limitations. Usually they will limit the amount of jewelry coverage you can get to $2,500 or $5,000 max unless you have a floater or a rider. Well, some of our high net worth policies in particular that are designed for that segment, that demographic, don't have that limitation. The limitation can be up to $100,000 per piece as included as part of the policy without having to buy a separate floater or a rider. Let's say you're on vacation and you want to rent a boat, whether it's a smaller boat or a mega yacht or anything along those lines, but you don't own a boat, right? With a regular insurance policy, if you have auto insurance and you have the right coverages on your auto insurance, when you go rent a car, you don't have to buy the rental car company's insurance on the car you're renting because your personal insurance policy will cover it. Well, let's say you don't own a boat and you go rent a boat. Well, if you don't have one of these special types of policies where this is included, right, and in our case, we have carriers that do include this coverage for watercraft. You can rent a smaller boat, you can rent a bigger boat, you can rent a mega yacht up to 45 days. That's one other expense you don't need to spend as you're renting or leasing a boat for 45 days or less. So let's say, for example, you have a preteen or a teen child, and they make a negative comment about someone on any form of social media, whatever that social media is. It could be Twitter, it could be Facebook, it could be Snapchat, whatever the Instagram, whatever the in social media happens to be. That negative comment affects the other person in a tragic way. We've seen the tragedies where some kids have taken their own lives because of comments online. We've seen other instances where children get suspended or even expelled from school because of the comments they're making. In addition to taking care of any slander or libel lawsuits you're likely to face from the family of the child that your child did that to, the insurance company that may place you with will also provide up to an additional $250,000 of what I call crisis management. That means they'll roll out the PR, they'll do whatever they need to do, they'll get attorneys out there that will protect you and your family's reputation. They'll unleash an army of people in your corner, PR representatives, attorneys, whatever the case may be, to mitigate the negative commentary, the negative circumstances that might be coming back on you if your child does something negative online that affects somebody else. So here's a great coverage. New car replacement on vehicles is set up in such a way that if something should happen to where your brand new car is totaled out, they'll replace it with a brand new car of the same model of the newest year possible. So for example, let's say you have a 2018 Audi A8, right? And in the year 2020, something happens and your car gets totaled out. Well, they'll buy you a brand new 2020 or year 2021 Audi A8 to replace that car because it's been totaled out. Obviously, if it's an accident, they'll pay to fix it, but if it's totaled, you get a brand new car, same model year. So unlimited replacement cost on your home, on any property, your rentals, your landlord properties, your second homes, right? What that does now is they will pay whatever it takes, no matter where the material came from, to rebuild your home. I'll give you a couple of examples. Back in the early 90s, when we had major earthquakes and fires going on everywhere, insurance companies really took a nasty hit because they used to all have unlimited replacement cost, also known as guaranteed replacement cost coverage. Well, that's all gone by the wayside because companies no longer put themselves out at that, at least not the Main Street companies. Well, we have a few high net worth companies that will replace your home unless it's in the middle of a wildfire or fire caused by an earthquake. With only those two circumstances. Any other reason your house is gone, right, is damaged beyond repair, they will replace it without regards to the cost. So for example, let's say you have a specific type of Italian marble from a specific mountainside in a city in Italy. They're not just going to buy you any random type of marble to replace that in your home. They will actually pay whatever it takes to go over back to that location to bring you that same marble. The difference between the high net worth policies and the Main Street policies is that they're geared towards a specific type of a demographic, right? These specific policies are geared towards the people that have things that other people don't necessarily have, whether it's higher end jewelry, whether it's more expensive jewelry, could be fine arts, could be wine collections, could be collections of any kind. that they want protected because there's some sentimental value as well as real market value added to it. And that doesn't happen with everyday policies. That doesn't happen with your everyday, Main Street type of an agency. These are specific policies geared to a specific demographic, a specific type of person who really values some of the things they've acquired in their life.